Okay, my phone, I literally just got a notification there saying it's 30 days until the Open. It popped up on my phone, so that was very serendipitous. There's another, you can add that to laissez-faire, Sam, for stupid phrases I said in the last 20 minutes.
I'll
Um,
do a tally.
you all work with and coach others in one way or another. You either do your online programming or in person, where it's possible, I suppose. Emma, you've got your daily grind program with Fitter, and then you've got a range of people being coached by that, from like people right at the top all the way down to your regular Joes and Janes. How much of what you do in your own training kind of spills into what you get other people to do in their training?
None.
Really?
Yeah, just like my training is totally different to what I would give to people. Like, no one wants to do, like, tomorrow morning, for example, like 4x2.5K row with 4 minutes recovery on the C2 bike. Like, that's not really fitting into the open prep style training. So yeah, like, their training's obviously prepping for the Open. Like, I'm obviously prepping for like the semi-finals. So like, it's completely different. It's not even anything like yeah. No, it's plus when if I put a week of my trainings up for my guys, like, I think they would retire early. Like,
Yeah, I've seen the stuff your guys do, though. It doesn't really feel like it.
Not sexy. Like, I think being like a full-time athlete it's not as sexy as like Instagram portrays. You have to do like well, for me anyway, it's like 90 minutes of movements, like usually 60 minutes of conditioning, 2 hour strength session, like whatever during the day. Like, it's not all WODs and 1RMs.
Yeah. PD, are you still programming for people as well? Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you find it hard not to project what you're doing onto the people that you're programming for as well? I suppose maybe it's a little bit different for you because it's within systems, so maybe that changes it, does it?
Not really. Like, if I do some workouts or something, I think it's good. Whenever you know a workout and you've done it, you know the exact stimulus because you've just done it. It's like you can scale it for people then to get the same sort of stimulus. So I kind of do enjoy that, because you kind of know maybe what time you got, and then you can try and project it to get them to get the same intensity if that's the desired outcome. So it does spill over a wee bit at times in that way. But yeah, as Emma said, it's quite different for different individuals and what their goals are, and between male and female, and what way they're training. So yeah.
Sam, you've changed facility and members and coach. Has that led to changes in how you coach people as well? Like, when you move, say, from one facility to another and see how those coaches engage with the community and stuff, has that changed how you engage with them, or are you still sticking to the way that you used to do things, would say?
I think there's no overall way to engage with anyone. I think it depends on the person. So I've no exact way that I do anything. I just try and adapt it to communicate best to that person in front of me. Like, if I say one thing, it might get through to that person but not to another, so I kind of just try and individualize it a bit.
Is it hard to move and have because obviously, like, if you're in a gym for a good while, you kind of get to know people and think like, all right, I need to say this to this person, or this person likes to hear this in the middle of a workout, like when they're when they dip a little bit to lift them back out, or, oh, I know that person struggles with thrusters, so I'll help them with this or whatever. Is it hard when it's brand new people and you've no idea what anyone's capable of or what level they're at or anything?
I don't think it's hard. It's just a bit, just an adjustment period. I think you'll, just based on some personalities, I guess you might know that you can slag such and so a bit more than a person who might be new to the gym, and you'd treat someone who's new to the gym the same as you always would. But yeah, I think it just, again, it just depends on the person. There's just an adjustment period where you kind of get used to the new people, and see what they're like, and see who reacts to what, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you hide who you really are for a while, and then you start
Yeah,
breaking out Simpsons quotes.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, PD, if someone hasn't signed up for the Open, maybe they're on the fence, what would you say to push them over?
Actually, there was a post Steve Fawcett put up the other day, and I tell him to go and read that. It was a really good post. He, I'm not going to do it justice now from what he said, but it was basically, you know, why you do it. You know, everyone seems to talk themselves out of it coming up towards the Open. You know, I'm not fit enough for to see everyone on Instagram doing PBs or doing all the sexy stuff. But again, that's not true, because that's just a snippet of the best part of their day, or training session. So yeah, it's just basically remember why you're doing it and to have fun and test your fitness, you know. But yeah, if anyone doesn't follow them, that you go and read that post. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I suppose it's easy, Emma, to when you follow people online, I suppose you're on the opposite side of this relationship, but like I know it's easy to slip into comparing yourself to people who you have no fucking business comparing yourself to. Like, you know, looking at, say, I could look at something Sam does or PD does, or like most of your lifts are twice what mine are, Emma. So like it's easy it's easy for me even to slip into it, to be like, fuck, like why am I so far behind that person, or how can I enter a competition that person's doing when they're like light years ahead. But I suppose it's important to remember that like the whole purpose of the Open isn't for me to compare myself to Sam or PD. Like, it's nice if I need to ground myself to look at their times compared to mine, but it's really, I suppose, to compare myself to myself like 12 months ago, or, you know, 24 months ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like without a doubt. Like I shared like a small post like whenever I sign up for the Open, and it is quite nice looking back every year and how much you've improved. Like my first year was like, I don't know, 6,000 and something. And then I jumped to 35th in the world, and then jumped into the top 20 every year after that, and steadily improved. And like my post was just to anyone, it's like, just sign up. Like, you know, I couldn't do a double under, couldn't do a twos to bar. Like, I think myself and PD joined in CrossFit in around the similar time, in around like 2014, which was my first Open. And I'm like, just do it. Like, none of us were perfect back then, but unless you enter, like you'll never have a starting point. Like, if you wait one more year to get fitter, well then you're not really like, you're not seeing the whole journey. So it's quite nice to see the journey.
Yeah.
Was the first workout power snatch and double unders? Was that the workout?
Yeah, I couldn't do double
Yeah,
under.
same. I couldn't do double unders, and that's when I learned to do double unders, because everyone was in the gym doing double unders, and I was standing in the corner with myself, and I was like,
yeah.
I don't even think I got one round in that workout, because it was like 15 power snatch and 30 double unders, maybe,
30 double unders, yeah.
And I didn't get one round.
Yeah, I was exactly the same. I learned to do double unders like on the Saturday, Sunday, to do it again on the Monday.
Have you any memories of similar scenarios for you, Sam, where you got so far and they were like, uh-oh, I'm fucked, I need to really change things up for next year?
I remember
So you did this when you were like 12 or whatever, didn't you? Were you doing this when you were in secondary school?
Yeah, we did it after school. Yeah, I remember doing 12.1 in the school gym in the basement of the school.
Is that the burpees one?
Touching the burpees off an air vent, and that was exactly 60 inches above my reach. I think it was in like second year, but I didn't sign up for the Open. But I remember in 2016, I only kind of realized that looking back at the time, I was kind of only casually doing CrossFit because I was still doing other sports. And then it was the second workout with the squat cleans progressed with toes to bar and double unders, and the squat cleans went up. And I remember thinking, oh, this is really good. I can clean 80 kilos. So I got through the 80, or no, I didn't even get through the 80 kilo bar, which was like the first round. So I didn't even qualify for the second set of maybe 4 or 5 sets. I remember thinking, that was pretty good. And then as soon as I looked at the leaderboard going, oh, I'm currently 40,000th in the world or something. Maybe that's not as good as you think, but it's then to repeat that workout. It's always nice when they repeat an open workout in years to come, and you can go, oh my God, looking back at that is there's a huge amount of progress I've made. But if I didn't do it at the time, I wouldn't be able to look back and go, I've come on heaps and bounds, because I just wouldn't have that recorded, you know?
Yeah. There's 3 workouts. There's 3 of you. So if I ask you each for a tip to give someone like your average athlete, community member attempting the Open, either for the first time or a return member, we'll come to you, Sam, first. What tip would you give to someone facing into the Open?
I would say just remember, it's just a gauge of your fitness. It's not, if it's not, you're probably not going to enter to win it. It's maybe pick a buddy that you want to beat, and that's enough, especially if it's your first one. But just use it as a gauge to see where you're realistically at, and don't put too much pressure on it. Otherwise, just use it as, I'm just going to see where I am. I'm going to do my best, and where the chips fall, that's how I kind of will see how I feel after that. You know.
Yeah. God, who am I going to fuck over here now and put last? Emma, what tip have you got?
Like, yeah, it's kind of the same. Like, I don't really think there's much more to say on what Sam said. Like, if it's your first year, just enjoy it. Like, my first year, I loved it. Like, my first year was in 80/20, and obviously it's going to be a lot different this year. So, people will probably be raging after you say it, but like the Friday night lights, loads of people brought in like tray bakes and cakes, and it was just kind of like, it was just like a party, to be honest. And like, it probably 2014, 2015 were probably the two best years for me, before it kind of got like serious. So it's just like, enjoy it. Like, if the gyms are open, like, you know, bake your favorite like brownies or banana breads and stuff, bring it in, and then just enjoy the atmosphere.
Yeah. I just remembered your banana bread from the first lockdown.
I'll not be baking, so I'll not, but make someone else bring it
in. PD, I won't put you that badly on the spot. That'd be pretty lousy to put you last on that. But if someone was, say, if the gyms aren't open, Emma's covered there. If they are open in the best case scenario, but if they aren't, like, would you suggest, maybe echoing what Sam was saying, of picking someone and maybe doing a Zoom call or doing something like, a FaceTime or something to do it together, so that you're not just having to find that darkness on your own? Maybe for the likes of me, like, we'll say, obviously you'll have your own system in place, pardon the pun.
Yeah, no, I definitely think you're right. Like, you buddy up, you just make yourself accountable with somebody as well, and it is good. A bit of healthy competition is great, but it's also, you have realistic expectations. You see people, throwing dumbbells at the wall or something because they didn't do as well as they thought to their body, but you have to have realistic expectations. If you're not training like a full-time athlete, or you're not training 6 days a week or whatever, you're not going to keep up with them people. So just have realistic expectations and enjoy it, and a bit of accountability as well,
Yeah. Is that from personal experience, that throwing the dumbbells at the wall?
I don't think I've ever thrown dumbbells. Definitely thrown a skipping rope, probably a barbell. Don't know what else.
Barbell is quite aggressive. I was like, skipping rope's not that bad a thing to do.
Well, I can't throw the barbell that far, but I can definitely throw a skipping rope far. So wouldn't want to get hit with that.
Yeah, or a judge. What common pitfalls then do you think that you see your clients, or maybe potential clients, doing during the Open? Is there anything that you see kind of happening where you're looking at it thinking like, oh, what did you do that for?
I think it's comparing to other people. Again, people not focusing on their own expectations, or what they are actually capable of, and thinking, I should be able to beat them. It's like, why should I be able to beat them? They've been working hard or doing something different. So for me anyway, I think it's people having their own expectations and maybe being much bigger than maybe they should, and not focusing on themselves enough. And if you do, then you can actually get a better result.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I always see people, like, maybe on the first week, they'll just completely sprint the first round and horribly die for the rest of the workout, especially if they don't know how to pace. So maybe a bit of strategy going into some workouts. Ask your coach, ask around, see what's kind of the go-to strategy. Like, there's a lot
that's no fun. You want to see them all day.
Yeah, true. There's also just say, hold your breath and go. That's the trick.
Yeah, that's you laugh, but like, that's my technique for most things. Like, I remember with thrusters, I was like, oh, I'm really shit at thrusters, and someone's asked me like, yeah, like, what's your breathing like? Like, where do you where do you take your breaths? And I was like, oh, just when I put the barbell down, I just do as many as I can, and then I drop the barbell, and then I try and pant my breath back into my lungs. Then I go again until it happens again. Have any ever not redone an open workout?
Yes.
Yep.
I was raging whenever PD repeated the burpee box jump and dumbbell snatch one when we all realized that you change overhead and not at the bottom. I stood and watched them do that workout, because you repeated it in CrossFit Berserk and you absolutely smashed it. And I remember watching that like, holy shit, that's so fast. We were a bunch of retards changing at the bottom, and
that would make a huge difference. So
yeah, and obviously Neil wouldn't let me redo it, and I was like an absolute bear. So I was for quite a while.
I hope that doesn't come up in this Open, and it's quite a possibility.
Oh well, I repeated it there about 2 months ago, and I beat my score by a reasonable amount. I would have won it by 5 seconds, so I would love that to come up.
Well, yeah, it would be a good one to come up, but yeah, it's pretty horrible.
It's horrible, but yeah, that was one of the only workouts I didn't repeat from like 2016 upwards, and yeah, I was so pissed, like, especially when I really crush it.
Have any ever done like, more than twice, done an open workout more than twice, more than like whatever, Friday morning, Monday evening?
I did a Friday morning, Monday afternoon, and Monday afternoon.
Did something go wrong with the second one?
Yeah, I cut my head out for 20.1, the workout I won.
Oh yeah.
I cut my head out, so I literally drove home from CrossFit Berserk, like flipping absolutely jacked up, and was sitting eating my porridge about like, I think, about 90 minutes before my first client came, and I was like, oh, I'll flick on my video here and make sure it's all good, and then she just started like crying. I was like, oh, fucked it. And I was like, I messaged Briggsy, and I was like, I've messed this up, and she was like, there's only one thing you can do, and she was like, just get out and do it again and suck it up. So I was like, oh, right. So I literally had to go out into the gym. I think by that time I gathered myself together at about 40 minutes before my clients came, and didn't even warm up, just put the weight on the bar. One of the coaches from CrossFit Berserk came down and judged me, and yeah, so yeah, it wasn't ideal, but
angriest you've ever done a workout, I imagine.
Yeah, I was absolutely furious because it was my own fault. So if I didn't do better, it was all on me.
What about you, Sam? Have you ever done a three-peat or that over a weekend?
No, I'm usually good with two, or just I have a bad habit of doing it just the once. I need to stop. I need to probably do it twice. Actually, probably won't this year now that I said that habit's gone. Just sticking to one. I did 19.1 2.5 times, where I did it once on the Friday, then on the Saturday, and did worse, which was annoying. And then on Monday, I got halfway through, and my quads just went, and I kind of fell doing a wall ball, and then I couldn't really do a wall ball for a minute, so I just stopped, because I was at that stage, just wasn't happening.
Yeah. What about you, PD? Any one and dones, or any like 5 times over?
Very few one and dones in the past 2 years, I would say. I think I remember I think I've done 20.5 3 times, and the last time was like fucking 10 o'clock at night on Monday night, and because I was like slept all day to try and recover, and then that was a workout I was penalized in anyway, so it took fucking 30 seconds off me. So I was so raging, more so because I was like recovered all day, took a day off to try and do it, and then it meant nothing anyway. So yeah. But
what's a realistic place, PD, do you think, for your season to finish this year?
Well, you're always hoping to get an outside chance to go into the games. Like 10 spots in Europe, it's tough, but it's not. I wouldn't say it isn't achievable. If things go in the right direction and training goes the right direction, that's what I'll be aiming for. But yeah, there's a lot of ifs and buts in the meantime of that,
Yeah. What about you, Sam?
I think it would have to be also. Sorry, I think I would much prefer going to an in-person competition. I just love that kind of atmosphere of somebody in the lane beside you and going at it. It would be pretty demoralizing if the semi-finals went, I think, online again, this year. So yeah,
you have to kind of hope they won't, I suppose, because it will be more local than, like say we talked about the Last Chance before, where you could be talking about people from Africa, Australia, America, all having to go to one area, and like the fucking chances of that are so slim. Whereas if, even you look at the Champions League, like United are playing and their fixture has been moved from wherever, Spain to Italy, because it's easier to go and come from Italy. So you'd hope that CrossFit will be able to do the same thing for the semi-finals, that if they pick, I don't know, like London as a location, and then if England is fucked, they can say like, oh shit, we'll move it to France or whatever, because they have these, hopefully they'll have these windows of time where they can scramble and get stuff ready. Like obviously it's more difficult with Brexit and shit, but hopefully, I don't know, I'm just remaining optimistic about the whole thing, basically, that by May we'll all be grand and everything will be back to normal, and I'll be being paid loads for doing this as well. Sam, where do you think is your season is over? Where do you think you look back and have finished?
I don't think it's unrealistic to say I can make it to the games if I turn up on the day and perform well on the day of the semi-finals. I don't think it's unrealistic to say that.
Do you think is not getting to the semi-finals a disappointment then?
If you don't get to the semi-finals?
Yeah, like you're saying that if you'd be hopeful of getting to the semi-final. You're saying like if I perform well at the semi-finals, I'll get to the game. So is not making it to the semi-finals a disappointment then?
Oh, I'd say, yeah, it would be disappointing. I'd be disappointed if I didn't make it there.
Yeah. Emma, what about you?
It's obviously just making it back to the games is the goal for this season.
That's it.
Sorry, my friend.
You don't really go.
Yeah, well, like you have to make it there first. It's never a given. So, obviously, like we'll readdress the goals obviously post May, when the semi-finals is done.
Yeah. Well, we'll finish with a quick fire from you this time, Emma. Coach or compete?
Compete.
Favorite rain flavor?
Melon.
It's just ridiculous. Row or run?
Run.
Gymnastics or cardio?
Gymnastics.
Squat or deadlift?
Deadlift.
Snatch or clean?
At the minute, snatch.
I was going to say, yeah, you seem to be loving it at the minute. There's a workout announced then. Castro calls whatever 21.1, and you think, I've got this. What is it?
But probably love any workout with chest bars, thrusters, burpees, box jumps, wall
It's a
ball.
complicated workout.
I don't really care. Just anything. Anything doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, a chipper.
I love to
all of
actually
the equipment.
for like my own development. I would like to see a heavy barbell at some stage, just to see how we've progressed from the games.
Yeah, I'd say quarterfinals maybe for that type of thing. Well, I hope, or else I'm fucked.
I think we'll see a heavy barbell sooner.
Fuck. Listen, thanks a million to Tree for doing this. I know anyone listening will appreciate, I suppose, what you're doing for the sport in Ireland, HE, what you've done in the past, and then I think everyone will be watching with high anticipation of what HE can achieve this year. And I hope, like, I will remain optimistic unless something else, a fucking asteroid hits us or something, that there will be in person for the semi-finals. I really hope so, because I think it'd be great for you to get your opportunity to show the last couple of years' hard work. So yeah, you all seem ready to reign. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you can bring to the season this year. So yeah, thanks a million and best of luck with everything.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pete.
Thank you very much.